Now, work on the rapid transit system link between Johor Bahru and Singapore has been suspended until the end of September under the supplemental agreement signed by the transport ministers today.
Malaysia had requested for the suspension 2 months ago, and Singapore agreed to it in the spirit of bilateral cooperation, even though there was no provision for it in the original terms of the agreement. Gwen Teo reports.
This is the plot of land where the rapid transit system station will be in Singapore. Work on it has begun, but it'll be on hold until end September, during which both countries will discuss how best to proceed with the project, if at all. The site is located in Woodlands, close to the causeway. The terminus is next to the Thomson East Coast Line, which will allow commuters to travel elsewhere in Singapore via the MRT train network. Behind me in the distance you can actually see Johor Bahru, and this is the site that's been allocated for the RTS Link station here in Singapore. And as you can see, over the past year they've actually turfed over the ground in preparation for future construction work. Now this site is about 10 hectares in size, and that's about 50% larger than the average MRT station here in Singapore. The transport ministers toured the site and visited the construction of the Woodlands North MRT station, which is supposed to connect to the RTS through an underground link. Under the terms of the supplemental agreement, Malaysia must pay Singapore some 600,000 Singapore dollars for costs incurred from the project suspension. Malaysia has until 31st July to do so.
We cannot just simply walk away from the work site. We have to protect the work site and ensure that both public health as well as security. So those are the sort of abortive costs we are talking about.
Malaysia says it's exploring ways to make the project cheaper, such as involving the private sector. The project's original deadline was end 2024.
Once we finalize the way forward for the project, then we will, I think, finalize the deadline as well and the commencement of the service. Of course, I think we will try very hard to make sure that we still can probably meet that deadline if possible, because I think there are ways and means to do it, even though there's some delay right now.
If Malaysia decides in September that it doesn't want to continue with the project, it'll have to compensate Singapore 66 million Singapore dollars for the amount already spent.